Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here, another broadcast of the LiuLi Cup 2025 Grand Finals Group B. I'm of course your host VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chats as well. Welcome one and all. We are back. We have returned here with the second group of the event. Again, LiuLi Cup, for those who are unaware, is a long-running kind of monthly tournament. It did run throughout the course of 2025, and now coming into 2026, we are bringing together all the best players that competed in said tournament, seeding them together into one massive event, into a group stage, into eventually the playoffs. A couple of days ago, we already covered Group A. Now we're going to be jumping into Group B. Let's go. Let us go. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the group itself. For those that are curious, this is a GSL format group, GSL group stage into the eventual playoffs. That means that two players will advance on into the next round. The other two will be knocked out of the tournament. For this event, though, for this group, we do have four players. We have Clem, we have Rogue, Shin, and Cyan. Two Zergs, one Terran, one Protoss. Cyan, of course, he has been less active as of late. I will say, though, he was less active compared to in previous years. But I know there's been a lot of Chinese events. We cover them every single time during the podcast. There are so many Chinese events. Cyan has been more active and competing more in those events as well. Infamously, of course, Cyan did take down Maru last year in, I think it was Masters Coliseum towards the beginning of 2025. Cyan, he has some killer TVP, but what about his PvZ? We'll get there. We'll get there. First things first, though, we're going to be jumping into a Terran versus Zerg matchup. Clem versus Rogue. They're going to be facing off in that Terran versus Zerg matchup. And we'll see how they compare. We'll see how they face off as we jump into game one. Game one is going to be on Ruby Rock. Let's go. Again, we are going to be jumping in. Still recovering from last night, as of course yesterday we did have a lot of content. We were going through KSL, going through Ducklings Open. Even later on this evening we do have Sparkling Tuna Cup as well. So again, back to back broadcast. Let's go, baby, let's go. So jumping in and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. It is Rogue. Test. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just testing out some audio settings, but here we go. We're jumping on into our first series of the broadcast, into our best of three. Getting into this, Clem, he, I would say, has the best TvZ in the world. He's an animal. He's a beast. There's a reason why he looked as strong as he did against several at Home Story Cup, and often does, just period, whether it's at EWC, Home Story Cup, other big major events. Clem is coming in as a heavy favorite here, but what I will say is that Rogue, he is a very unorthodox player at times. He does things his own way, and he can cause some slip-ups and even approach the meta in his own kind of way as well. Infamously, what was it, 2 years ago at Stars Agora, we had Rogue defeat Clem. True. That was when Rogue, he first showcased his hyper late game kind of mass lurker, mass overseer style, where he was just covering everything in overseers, going for mass lurkers as well as, sorry, mass Nidustorms I meant to say, as we had changelings all over the place, Nidustorms all over the place. The mass overseer was able to cover all the lurkers to avoid any kind of snipes, to protect them as well. It was crazy, this kind of style that we saw again a couple of years ago. The problem is that we saw that rise up and we saw that do well, and it did so well because players were so unaccustomed to playing against it, and then it fell off. It fell off after a couple of months, just because players got used to it. They got used to shutting it down, setting up their tanks, and even just killing Rogue before we could actually get to that point as well. So we'll see if Rogue has something new to bring to the table this time. For now, Hatch Gas Pool, Standard Opener, going for a third expansion, everything's looking normal. At the same time, Rax Expand out of Clem, not going double gas, not going 2-Rax Reaper or any kind of shenanigans early on. Now, Clem, he's one of those players that is willing to go 1-1-1 and be hyper aggressive in the early to mid game, more so than other Zerg, also other Terran players. So he will punish you if he sees an opportunity. He will punish, he will threaten. As the Reaper pokes in, pulls away. Behind this, third CC. So third CC before Starport. Economic build, economic follow-up here out of Clem. We're calming down. Of course, welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is one of the smaller maps of the map pool, and we do often see a lot of aggression here. Oh, This Reaper is going to be turned away. I wouldn't be surprised if Rogue does play Roaches here. We've still yet to confirm the tech of choice. Clem, we do now see a second Rax before Starport, so a 3cc 2-1-1. This is going to be a heavy bio commitment into earlier Tech Lab, earlier Stim, earlier Marine production, earlier Bio. The difference, of course, is that this, I say earlier, this will hit around 5:30. Around 5 minutes 30 is when we can start to move out across the map. The Starport is delayed in favor of the faster expansion, so this is, again, an economic variation of 2-1-1. As it should be stopping and cutting Hellion production at 4. So far, 2 Hellions, should be making an extra pair and then add-on swapping into reactive Marine. If we keep making Hellions, that's indicative of Hellbats. Ling pokes in, Ling gets a full scout, very nice. As Zergling does confirm both Raxes, there's the add-on swap, no Hellbats. Again, swaps into Marine production. Meanwhile, Rogue is going to be going Evo Chamber first. Again, he did scout the 2 Raxes, so his response should be +1 Carapace. That is the standard response. Is getting Carapace. Still just joining up. Clem is looking for a window. He finds a way in. Oh, yeah, he does find a way in. He goes for the dive. He gets one. Just one. One drone goes down. But again, you have to be so careful here against Clem. Clem, he's more than willing to dive in if he sees an opening. He will commit into a mineral line. And Rogue, he has to be careful. There's that Carapace upgrade, as I mentioned. Is on the way. The reason why this is the go-to against a 2-on-1 is because of the high attack rate of the Marine. And of course, Carapace applies to every single attack. So you get the most value out of Carapace. Likewise, it does help your Link Bane, a more vulnerable army, to survive, to collapse on the army, to engage. So also in Carapace into Lair, into eventually Baneliness, into second Evo Chamber, into 1-1. So everything is looking pretty normal from Rogue. I mentioned earlier that Rogue at times can be a little bit more unorthodox. That is not the case here. This is as standard as standard can be from our Zerg side. Meanwhile, we did say that the 2-on-1 hits out around 5:30. There it is, 5:30. 5:30, double drop moves out. He's here in time to deny the 4th base. Can he get a kill? Oh no, he sims in. Yeah, he does stim. Ooh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Late reaction out of Rogue. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, a rough start here for our Zerg player. Losing an entire expansion is brutal. Likewise, that's a kill on the Spore Crawler. Goes to Zerglings, kills the Queen. Oh god. This is becoming too much, pappy. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, far too much here. Queen, Lings, thankfully no economic damage outside of killing the 4th base. So very delayed 4th expansion. Now, this is where the dominoes start falling one after the other. I don't want to call it yet, but typically when a Zerg player is denied their 4th base in such a fashion, this means less creep, this means less economy, this means less production. Losing a hatchery like that is a massive blow to the Zerg, and it means that the 7-minute push, the later move out with tanks this time, is going to hit harder. Now I say 7-minute push, this was a 3cc 2-on-1, so tank production was delayed, true. Against a standard 1-1-1 build, we'd already have like 2-3 tanks amassing to be able to push across the map. Here the tank count is much lower, so Clem might be a little bit more passive when it comes to his main army move outs. He can still be active with his drops though. But now taking a defensive stance. Waiting for 1-1 upgrades. And a 4cc. Okay, 4cc is on the way, extra gases are on the way, so Clem, he's building up into a longer later game. As you can see here, he's moving out with his drops, that is true, but he's keeping everything else back at home. So Clem is ahead, he's getting further ahead, or the goal is to get further ahead. He's not looking to kill. Catching up some Lings, nice target firing. Just gaining more value. Catching on more tumors. Rogue is still trying to rebuild. Trying to keep up. Again, we'll see if he can. As now Clem is pushing. Here's moving out at 8 minutes. The Changeling does spot the move out. Rogue is aware. Up! Jesus. So Clem will lose 1 Marine. Rogue is not in position. Thankfully, this is a 5th expansion, so he can afford to cancel, and hopefully he does this time. ALC coming. Should be seeing that. Yep, cancellation. Oh my god, the SCVs, they come back too soon. They come back too soon. 6 SCVs go down. At the same time, Banelings, they do collapse on the army. And Rogue is holding. Oh god. So just there we go. So Rogue does hold on. Does force a pickup. And behind this, Rogue is taking up in towards Infestors and Hive Tech. He's trying to refine his army. I'm not too sure if the goal here is to go into Lurkers yet. Based on the Hydra upgrades, there's a higher chance we do get into Lurkers. That is the way to slow the game down. To embrace that later game. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I do feel like Clem, he has he's dealt some decent damage so far, but there we go. Sense Tower's on the way. He's getting ready to turtle up. Thankfully, he's going for another move out. He gets spotted by the creep. Rogue is aware. I do feel like Rogue has too much army here on the south side. Does have a fungal though. Does have that 1 fungal. The main comes in. Decent fungal. Oh my god, very nice. You're catching out the army and Rogue is holding. Rogue, he does hold on at the same time. Oh, Bailey's a crashing across the map as well. Clem, he was inattentive. Massive connections. So Rogue is catching Clem off guard. Rogue again is trying to hold on. Behind this, he's now joining up to 86. He's now taking up towards Lurker Tech with a Stilla window, right? The Stilla window in time pre-Lurker where Rogue is vulnerable, and here comes Clem. He's almost maxed. Where are the Banelings? Ooh, there's only 8. Banelings are not ready for this. He's heavily reliant on that fungal. He's got what, 2, soon to be 3 fungal growths. And the infestors are coming in. Oh my god, massive mine shots. Fungal does graze the army. There's not much of a follow-up though. And Clem is rallying. Clem is rallying across the map. Again, we're still heavily reliant on those fungals. Does miss. 2 fungals left. There's 2 left. Oh, massive connection. Okay, let's go. Yeah, Clemmy clumped. He clumped up way too much there. And Rogue is holding. He's holding on. Lurker upgrades are coming in. Here come the first wave of Lurkers. And Rogue holds. He holds on. Again, Clem, just a little bit too inattentive. He was clumping up so much against the fungals. And now he's forced attack. We do have the fusion core on the way. That's going to be healer red range. We should be seeing a Ghost Academy soon as well. Not yet. Just switching into libs. Yeah, scan reveals the Lurkers. Clem, you cannot push into this. Not anymore. Clem, he can still be aggressive. He can go for drop play. He can go for split pushes. But there are so many Lurkers now. There's 12. And there's the Ghost Academy. So Clem is taking up. Oh, he attempted to drop into the main. Oh, once again takes the fungals to the face. Oh my god. Losing so many Marines. Clem, por favor, split, papi, split. That's what the 3rd or 4th big fungal that we've seen so far this game. And with that, Clem has lost any kind of map control. He's stuck at home. Rogue can now be the aggressor. Clem still needs more time for more liberators, for more ghosts. Clem isn't there yet. Oh. He's not quite there. Banelings, they roll in. They delay some mining. Oh, killing the CC. Even sniping some liberators here, not bad. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 liberators. Rogue's trading well, but he needs more Zerglings. Can he hold his own? It's close. There's 4 lurkers left. Down to 3, 2 lurkers. And lurkers, they barely hang on. They barely hang on. We have Night Storms on the way to reinforce across the map. More lurkers have arrived. Rogue still forcing his way in. Clem, he's up against the wall. Just needs to build up more time or buy more time for more liberators, more ghosts. He's got 2 ghosts so far. Nice into the main. Clem's in position. Oh my god. Free damage. And Rogue just collapses in once again. Clem is out of position. The base is going to be denied. CC may even go down. Barely does. And Clem, can he push into the natural? He's so close. Can he go for the kill? As lurker shots are going up. Clem being zoned away. Nice from does finish. These lurkers, they get in, they get on top of the ramp, but oh, the ramp! Yeah, GG gets called. He gets into the main base, takes over the ramp, and Rogue takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Clem, sorry, Rogue, he does claim a lead in the series here. Again, Clem, initially he was playing very well. He was doing well when it comes to his 2-on-1, when it comes to his drop play, killing the 4th base as well. There were some big wins early on there. Unfortunately, as we mentioned, once lurkers came into play, we saw, I mean, I guess technically it was pre-lurker actually. Once infestors came into play, Clem was punished, and the first time was fine because it was the revelation of the infestors, but time and time again we saw some massive fungals. We saw that Clem was pushing but clumping up his army very, very hard and was vulnerable. He was vulnerable to those fungals. He was punished time and time again, and Rogue was able to take better fights, better engagements, and then eventually get into lurkers. Did get there in the end. GG, well played. With that, Rogue takes the lead in the series, and we'll see if Clem can recover coming to game number 2. Let's go. Loading into game 2, going to be loading into Winter Madness. One of the larger maps in the map pool. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner. Bottom right hand corner here, Winter Madness, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Rogue, who's leading the series 1-0. And we'll see if he can claim it here and now. Now we're loading into a larger map now. I would imagine that Clem is going to adjust his approach. Last game he did go for a 3cc 2-on-1. On a larger map we're expecting to see just a more standard economic opener into a 3rd base, into a greater 4th base, and towards a longer and later game. We'll see if Clem gets there. I don't know if he wants to, but he could try to reach that point in a better position, in a faster position, and kind of tech up a little bit faster as well. Clem, he has some options. Does have some options here, but already a very impressive display there out of Rogue, just showcasing his defensive prowess more than anything. As Clem was the aggressor last game. Likewise, you could see the other extreme of things. You could see Clem just be even more aggressive this time and go for a more standard 2-1-1. But I'm still leaning towards a faster third base. As he comes in with the SCV scouts, confirms the hatch gas pool, and pulls away. It is not uncommon for players like Rogue to open up pool first, for example, and try to slip out across the map. So Clem just being careful. Factory follow-up. Clem pokes in, pulls away. So far just has in the waters. He's checking with the third base and there is no third. That is unorthodox. And Clem is checking. So very late third base here for Rogue. Interesting. Much later third. Delayed economy. Often when you sit on two bases like this, you do tech up a little bit harder as well, just to spend your resources. And you can see that a Rogue, he does actually have 2 in gas. Are we going for roaches? Are we feeling roaches or a fast lair? It's going to be one or the other. But again, that gas income is unorthodox. Would it be roaches if you got link speed? So there's going to be 3:30 lair timing. So now we see what the gas is being spent on. I'm leaning towards potentially mutas. Like, muta play is definitely an option if more gases are taken. We'll see. Not opposed to mutas on a larger map like Winter Madness. Back at home, we have a straight up 1-1-1, a much more aggressive build here by Clem. Late third TC, very committed on 2 bases, going into more Hellions and going into more Banshees. If Rogue is being greedy and he's taking more gas, if Rogue does go into 2 base Muta, then he can be punished. So we have a late third TC for Clem. Alien Reaver still looking for a way in. Lair is now done. Show us the Spire. Hydras. Oh, okay, I see you. Este Rogue. This is a build that, if you recall, we've been bringing this up for the past couple of weeks now. The Korean Zerg scene, specifically Solar and Shin, and now Rogue. Like, to be fair, Rogue, he's not the most active of players, so I don't think I had him pinned for a player that does this yet. But now we have confirmation, all 3 Korean Zerg players are embracing this fast, almost quote-unquote 2-base Hydra style. Often it does lead into range upgrades as well, just a really heavy Hydra count early on, and this typically sets up for a 3-base all-in. A 3-base Hydra all-in. As this should be skipping mailings, so just going straight Ling Hydra. A couple of drones do go down. We get some okay damage so far to Clem. Looking for more. Can he go for the dive? Not quite. Pokes in, pulls away. Rogue is checking for the third. Hydra production has begun. And Rogue is running up to 57. Hellies don't quite make the way in. Oh, they do catch a queen though. No. Yeah, queen goes down. Massive pickup. We got 13 Hydras on the way. Oh. There's a couple of drones get caught out. A couple of drones are caught. So 2 more Banshees over towards the right hand side. Zerg surprise keeping up. He's keeping up with the harass, but again, he's staying intentionally on a low drone count, and here comes the all-in. Again, no Eva chambers. No Eva chambers, no upgrades. Lings are poking across the map. The all-in is coming. And I don't know how familiar Clem is with this 3 base all-in, by the way. Technically, it's a 2.5 base all-in. Here we go. Ling Hydra does step forward. It takes down the Banshee. Clem now knows. He races back home to defend. And Rogue, can he get on top of that tank? Can he get on top of the tanks? If he can, that'll be game. Tank stays turning back. More Lings are rallying across the map. Remember, Rogue is all in. The base doesn't matter. There's not enough Zerglings here. Where are the Lings? Pappy. Oh, God, he's going to lose everything. Yeah, not enough Zerglings. Every Hydra's going to go down, and Rogue, the all-in is falling on its face. GG gets called, and Clem will have the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Rogue, sure, he had a bunch of Hydras, but again, his link count was very low. On top of that, Clem, because he went for a 1-1-1, I don't think Rogue was expecting that many tanks that quickly. There were already 2 tanks at the natural. As we tried to emphasize, remember, what did Clem do? He went for a late third. His third base was very late in favor of faster factory and faster starport, more importantly production, more heavy factory and starport production. So he already had his tanks up and running, and yeah, Rogue, he just was lacking any kind of Zerglings to break through and to actually dive on top of the army itself. GG. GG, well played. He just could not engage, and with that, we are going to be getting into the ace match, going all the way to game number 3 here. We've seen aggression from both sides. We saw game 1, Clem being the aggressor and failing to break his opponent before infestors. Game 2, we saw Rogue going for a 2.5 base all-in. What about game 3? Where are we headed? Where are we dropping? As spawning in the bottom side of Mothership, we have the South Korean Zerg player, we have the Red Zerg, representing Team Falcons, being forced into a tied series. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Oh, hello, as we do mix things up early on, and we're opening up 2-Rax Reaper. Okay, technically this can turn into 3-Rax Reaper, but I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've seen Clem commit that hard and commit that much, so we should be seeing 2-Rax's Reaper production and, of course, aggression early on. The goal here should be to delay the third base of Rogue, but of course, find him first. As Clem, he's rallied towards top right, so it's going to be a late scout for Rogue's position. It's gonna be late. All right, that's the gamble you take here on Mothership. As the Reapers will be amassing. Oh, never mind. Oh my god. Clem, he actually does reroute towards the bottom side. Actually, okay, he does change his mind. Remember, there's no SCV scout. Like, there's no SCV scout. There's been no tell whatsoever. He's just flipping coins. We're just flipping coins, Pappy. Oh, no, he changed it again. God damn it. Clem, por favor. So it's still a little bit indecisive where he wants to take his Reaper. Does it go top side, bottom side? Keeps changing back and forth, and looks like he will commit to a top side scout, to a northern scout. The Overlord does slip in. The Overlord scouts the Raxes already, and you can see the Overlord intentionally pulls away. The vision of the Overlord is greater than the vision of the Rax, so Rogue sees Clem, Clem doesn't see Rogue. On top of that, side blockers, true. You have the side blockers. Rogue, he sees the timing of the natural, so he knows it's not a 3-Rax. He knows it is 2-Rax Reaper, so nice scouting here by Rogue. And Clem's, he does confirm that Rogue is bottom side now. It's outside. Does rally over. Clem, it looks like, sorry, Clem. Rogue looks like he will be able to claim his third. Undisturbed. Reapers are still making their way over. Still heading over. Clem is picking away at the third base. He's trying to force a reaction from these queens, but he should not cancel. Like, he should not force a cancel. Rogue, he should be able to hold his own. Link speed is almost done. These queens are getting caught out though. Yeah, taking a lot of damage, and the queens, they may just go down. One does fall. Rogue, he's overextended. He's overextended far too much here. Link speed is done in 8 seconds. But so many links have gone down. The queen is still very low. The Reapers, they can just hold their own. They can just fight head on. They get another queen. Oh my god. This is too much damage. Yeah, Rogue overconfident. He was overconfident here. He got caught out in the open. Queens went down. Sure, he gets surrounded, but this is already worth it. This is well worth it for Clem. Trading out 2 Reapers for 2 queens. Eventually, these Reapers will fall. Rogue is counterattacking. Back at home, Clem has a full wall off. And this is a rough position for Rogue. Hoping he can deny stim. And looks like he will be able to. Yeah, no repairs. No repairs. Stim is denied. Reactor as well. So at least some counter damage is done. And that does slow Clem down. Behind this, Clem did go for a 3rd CC, so it's going to be a 3 CC 2-on-1. It's going to be a later move out to later timing. Interestingly enough, Clem does go... Oh, actually, okay. I was going to say, interestingly enough, Clem doesn't go for the add-on stop, and we see why. It's going to be a 3 CC 2-on-1 Banshee follow-up. We actually spoke about this yesterday because Bjorn went for the same build. Bjorn did go for the same build. Sorry, I say yesterday, it was during Pegasus Cup, I should say. No, not Pegasus Cup, hold on. What am I thinking of? KSL, that's it. That's it. Sorry, my apologies. So it was during KSL. But the follow-up here, this is designed to catch a Zerg player being a little bit too greedy and trying to mind game them and metagame them specifically. So what I mean by that, the 2 Raxes have been seen. The Overlord knows there's a 2-on-1 coming his way. What is a 2-on-1? A 2-on-1 is 2 Raxes, 1 Starport, 1 Factory. It typically means that you build up into early stim, and then you can move out with 16 Marines and 2 Medevacs, right? You want to be active on the map with your 2 Medevacs. But we can see that there are no medevacs on the way. Technically, this is inefficient, right? This is an inefficient build as it delays your stim timing, it delays your bio move outs because you're not making medevacs, which is why Rogue doesn't have any spores, because he doesn't expect there to be Banshees, because there should be medevacs on the way, not Banshees. We can see that Clem, I mean, this should be a tell here. We have reactor to helium production, so that tells Rogue, hold on, the reactor's not on the starport, right? The reactor is clearly here on the factory. As, I mean, it's too late. it's too late. Drones are going down. I believe 0 detection. Yep, 0 detection. No spore, no lair, no overseer. Free damage. And the Hellions, by the time Rogue realized what was going on, it was too late. It was far too late. Banshee had already arrived. This is game-ending damage here. 11 drones had gone down. 12 drones. 12, 13, 14, getting up to 15 drone kills. Oh, boy. And again, the entire reason why this happened was because there was no spore, was because technically, like theoretically, against this kind of build, there should have been reacted medevacs, which we're now seeing, but that's after the Banshee play. So this was a cheeky move here by Clem. This build was popularized by Maru and Bjorn. This was like 2 years ago, I want to say. Was going like 2-on-1, but with Banshee instead. So a relatively recent like addition to Terran builds, like in the grand scheme of StarCraft, from a couple of years ago. And Rogue has been crippled. Again, like Rogue, he lost 16 drones and he lost 3 queens already. 3 queens, 16 drones. Ay, ay, ay. And Clem has momentum. Clem is now up in supply. Now he moves out with that sim timing with the 2 medevacs. It's delayed, it's late, but it's worth it because of all the damage dealt earlier. And now Rogue has that much less to defend. Bailing speed just now began. So we're going to have a slow baiting defense. as Marines are being active, catching out more tumors. Oh, the mine shot. Oh, oh. No retargeting. Okay. Banelings, they do survive. Rogue is holding. He's holding on. At the same time, you have a Baneling Waddle by. There's a Banshee in position to defend. Oh. There's one Baneling gets in. No real damage. Let me wants a queen. Up, oh, doesn't get it. Jesus. Yeah, Medevac barely gets away at the same time. Another double drop. Getting himself the would-be 5th ace. It's going to be cancelled. Thankfully not killed. Oh my god, the mine shot. Mine shot's going up. Rogue forced to cancel. This entire time, Clem is still macroing up. Macroing up. Reaction time pulls away against the Banelings. Again, no major connections. And I'm worried about the main push. Oof. I'm worried about the main move out. Yeah, as Clem, he's now arrived with his main army. He's up in supply, has plenty of widow mines, and it's going to be so difficult here for Rogue to engage. Mine shots are going up, queens are going down. Oh my god, more mine connections. Now there are no Banelings. Yeah, no Banelings left over. Marines, they can stim, and I was going to say they can win, but now they're going to be zoned away. At the same time, another double drop here coming in from behind, going for the Hydrogen actually. Yeah, Ling's trickling, the Hydrogen goes down, no more Hydra production. Oh, going for the expansion? Oh, Jesus. A little bit greedy there out of Clem. I do think he could have just killed all those Hydras. Hatchery does survive. A little bit messy here from Clem. It is messy. But he still has a lead. Like, he still has momentum. He's still ahead. He's still rallying across. Despite how messy that was. Oh, we still have a Hellion left over. Let's go. Morphing into the one Hellbat. Down the 5 Banelings. There's one Infestor on the way. The Fungal can be huge. Can be. Mine shots getting baited. The Hydras, they hold their own. Roki's surviving. Oh, it's not the Banshee. The Banshee comes in, snipes the expansion. Takes down the 3rd base. Once again, Clem just ensuring there's no 5th, ensuring the Rogue is not low economy, low base counts. Mine shot going off, forcing it with a friendly fire. But again, there's no Fungal, was used earlier on the Banshee. And we're still waiting for the main push, for the main move out. Now Clem is still taking up. We got 3 upgrades on the way. We got the fusion core as well, once again for Liberators. I'll go let's catch out some of the medevacs, okay. Does catch some medevacs. Clem, he busts into the main. Nice catching the infestation pits. Sure, there's a fungal, but there's no follow-up. Oh, I spoke too soon. The double fungal. Not bad. The chain fungal's back. Bro, he's surviving. He's holding on as best he can. But it's still an uphill battle. Still very uphill. At the mine shot, the Banelings roll in. Once again, Rogue being torn apart. There's a kill, not a cancel this time. And again, Rogue, he just can't expand. He just cannot expand. He's been stuck on 4 bases in this entire game. He just cannot get a 5th. He's been trying. 3 minutes. And it has been a slow death here for Rogue, as Clem is almost maxed. He's almost maxed out. He's getting to that point. Diving on the infestors, gets 1. He wants the other. And he will hunt it down. Yeah, both infestors fall. There's 2 left. Once again, Rogue just getting torn apart. Another double drop is coming in. There is 1 fungal. Ah, no, does not land. Yeah, it doesn't land this time. GG gets called, and Clem, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the winners match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations to Clem, he does claim the series. And again, it all came down to the initial build. A very cheeky build, opening up 2-Axe Reaper and then following up not with a 2-on-1 16 Marine double medevac drop, but instead a 2-on-1 reacted Hellion Banshee follow-up, and he was able to deal game-winning damage. He killed 15 drones, 3 queens, and an expansion, all with the early economic damage. Again, that should not have happened by any means, and that did set Rogue behind and never caught back up. That's one of the reasons why Rogue couldn't get a 4th base, is because lack of economy, lack of army, lack of defensive setup there. It all just kind of played into each other there. So just a very, very strong start from Clem at catching Rogue with his pants down. Again, when the Banshee showed up, there were no spores and there was no lair. 0 detection available for the Cloak Banshees. They ended the game. They were the game-winning blow there, so congratulations, Clem does claim the series. But a shout out to Rogue for making a series out of it. Coming into this matchup, I was favoring Clem for a 2-0, but for Rogue to gain momentum and to take a lead early on in the series, especially in a longer game, in a longer macro game, was impressive. Was definitely impressive. So GG, well played. With that, Clem, he will claim the first series, and now we're going to be jumping into our next best of 3 are the 2 players in the group here. It's going to be Shin versus Cyan. Let's go.